The Hmong first arrived in 1975 after the Vietnam War. When they arrived, they lacked the skills needed to learn and to speak English. Because of this, at the time, the education system had an expectation that they would not even make it to college. They only gave the Hmong immigrants the minimum requirements to pass high school to get into the workforce. In 2015, 29% of all Hmong were in poverty, as there is still a lack of education because they are expected to already know the things that are needed to live in the US. The Hmong population grew, and in March of just last year, an 80-year-old man shot at a Hmong family in Junction City, Wisconsin, and his reason for this was that there would be too many Hmong people living in the community. There was even a letter sent to a Democratic representative, Katrina Shankland, asking for all Hmong people to be deported.
My name is Cha Lo. I am among immigrants. My family came to the United States here in 1980 when I was about 12 years old. Oh yeah, in school, yeah, we've been in school and in the neighborhoods that we lived in. I mean, we got picked on and people didn't like us. We lived in the project housings. So, yeah, obviously people discriminate against you, against our family. Yeah, and bullying it's happened. It happened that time. So, yeah, it's not new. We've been picked on, but because we didn't really, speak the language, and then besides, we were told not to by our parents not to get in fights. So we went to school and just be good students. Well, yeah, it's both. I mean, you have to understand that some of the kids, they were born here, so they have some American friends. See, when we came, we didn't have American friends. All we have is Hmong friends. So we are basically targeted by other people. But those that were born here, you have American friends, and I think sometimes the younger generation here try to fit in, so they have friends that could stand up for them as well. So I think that would be true to it. One of the things that the younger generation rather speak more English because they want to fit in, and they don't want to be bullied, or they don't want to be discriminated.
Well, I think you have to separate between immigrants who have come because of war or because of some difficulty in their first country and they can't go back. So that's a refugee. And so they have usually a very different life experience than if somebody comes from Europe or Japan because they want to move to America because it sounds great, or for college or something. A refugee usually is coming with after having spent many years living in a refugee camp, which means very little to eat, almost no school for many years. So when a high school student shows up and they didn't go to grade 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now they're in your class in grade 9, they have a lot of catching up to do. So it's real hard. I know the popular thing is to say how terrible Donald Trump is, and I agree completely how terrible Donald Trump is. However, in general, in a city like this, I think most immigrants, most of the people I know, love having immigrants and all kinds of different cultures and different food and different music and different everything. It's not boring. So I think a lot of Americans like it. However, that's not, me liking immigrants doesn't get me on the news. If somebody says horrible things about immigrants or does something bad that gets run. So day to day, my students are all immigrants, and most of them don't have terrible experiences every day. But knowing that there are some people who don't like it, that's really hard to be a new immigrant and to know some people don't want you here. But I do think most people are fine. I don't think that if people don't like Hmong immigrants, I don't think that they love Somali immigrants and they just don't like Hmong immigrants, or that they think Korean immigrants are great, but Hmong immigrants are terrible. So I think it's more about people without education or experience working with that group usually don't like that group because they're different. So I don't think the Hmong population has had it a lot worse than any group, but I don't think it's much better. I will say, if you live in St. Paul and you're Hmong, you have a very different life than if you live in Portland, Oregon, and you're Hmong. In Portland, Oregon, nobody even knows what Hmong is. They don't know it's a language, they don't know it's a culture, they don't know anything about it. And in St. Paul, there are Hmong stores, there's Hmong farmers markets, there's almost a Hmong everything. There's a Hmong dentist, there's Hmong teachers, there's a Hmong principal at this school. So I actually feel like it depends where you are for that feeling. Yes. And a lot of it's because you're not around 100% Hmong people and you want to fit in. And you can change the word Hmong to my Korean students or my Somali students who are born here. And a lot of them kind of are like, oh, we don't speak Hmong to anybody except grandma. So other than that, but still their family might eat Hmong food or celebrate Hmong New Year, but like gradually they lose it. You really have to try to keep your culture. If you don't try, you're not keeping it. It's not really possible. For new immigrants, I think, for me at least, I'm probably a little different. I mean, honestly, I don't work with any kids born in America. So like, all I work with are immigrants. So for me, it's actually important for me to teach them about US culture and traditions, and also to celebrate all of their traditions at the same time. And they can see that everyone is just as valuable. And so then they can enjoy something like Halloween or New Year here, but still keep their other one as well. So I think that's one way to keep both.
I myself have donated money to an organization called the National Immigration Law Center. This organization is dedicated in defending and advancing the rights of immigrants with low income. If donating is not possible for you, please accept everyone's culture and just make them feel welcomed.